Welcome everybody, this is Tractorchute here to part 2 of the double header, and I figured we better tone it down a bit because I just ended up doing a platinum versus platinum and I want to get back to the basics. We are back to silver versus silver gameplay here. In the bottom right hand corner, we do have the man you've seen many times, Firewalker, playing for Team Copper. He'll be playing as the blue Protoss. In the bottom left hand corner, we do have as the red Zerg Electroshokr. I like that name, it's very unique. But yes, we will get back to a normal basic standard player game here. That platinum versus platinum was one heck of a game. Very good tech switches back and forth here. But now we will get ourselves back down into something that might not have as much skill, but hopefully is just as entertaining to you guys here. There we go with Firewalker doing his scouting here. Is going to get the probe into the base here. Probe's going to do a little bit of back and forth here. Run into the mineral line and get surrounded. Electroshokr really didn't like that probe in there as he did surround him with all of his drones there. Electroshokr is getting across the map here. We'll get the Overlord to do his scouting. We do have a Forge first for Firewalker here, as he might be going Forge fast expand or possibly a cannon rush, as he is sending another probe down there already. That leads me to believe we could be seeing some sort of cheese, or maybe is just looking to drop the proxy down the other end of the map. Electroshokr has planted his Overlord in the perfect position, making sure he knows what comes in and out of that base. There we go. And we do have Firewalker dropping the probe back into the base here. Probe's going to do a little bit more wandering around here. We'll see what he ends up doing. Maybe he just wants to see the timing of the spawning pool there, or the roach warren. Does see that it is a roach warren, I would like to think, if he did manage to click on it here. He is going to try and delay that hatchery there, so he will send his probe to do a bunch of circles like a good little retarded probe does. That probe will do circles for the rest of the time here until he gets killed there, I would have to imagine. And once again here, you work for Firewalker, you get vacations, apparently. I did, never mind. It was a very short-lived vacation. Maybe he was on a 15-minute break. And over here, it does look like he is getting attacked here. There's some roaches on the field here, so that does tell Firewalker that roaches are on the field already here, so he can try and prepare. Likewise with some cannons, I would have to imagine here, as he does have the full wall off. There's a couple cannons going down, and does end up going for the quick expo there. So very well done. We're 6 minutes in. Firewalker has expanded. No expo out of Electroshokr, which is a little bit of a shock being a Zerg player. You really want to get that hatch down pretty quick there. Sorry for that lag there. My bad. And on the other end here, he is going to move out here. So we will get those roaches moving across that map here. Let's take a boo at our unit count. We know Firewalker isn't going to have much, but he does have the cannons. Does have one Zealot to the 9 roaches and the 1 queen. I always count the queen as an offensive unit, even though it rarely moves out of base. Not often, unless of course you're putting 2 or 3 in your army, or just to be a meat shield, who knows. But anyways, the roaches are going to make their way up here. They're going to get up the base here, but with that wall off there and the 2-3 pylons supporting this, I don't think it's going to be enough of the 2 cannons here. We'll soon find out what he chooses to do here, so he may just try to contain them to the 2 bases. I don't think that's the best maneuver, as if you can contain him to 1, it'd be a lot more useful, but maybe he's just going to sit down there for a little bit so he knows whenever Firewalker determines or decides to move out here. Firewalker on the other side should really get himself out that cyber core, which I believe he does not have. No, he doesn't. Cybernetics core should be coming fairly quickly here, I would have to imagine. There it is right there. I'm halfway to blind today. I'm very sorry. There it is. I was going to say mothership should be coming out pretty quick. There it is right there. So very good by Firewalker, right on cue here. He is going to move up. Realize there's a full wall off here. Can't really get in there. He's going to try and do as much damage. Tries to get through the hole here. Is taking a lot of losses here at this point in time, but he is going to put a little bit of pressure on here. This could be a little bit of trouble here. He does have the mothership core on the field here. This should fix up this army pretty good here. He's going to try and get as many probe kills as he can here, as he doesn't have a lot of roaches, so realizes the best he can do is maybe get a building kill, maybe, as he is going to try for the pylon here. Don't know, it's going to be very close. Yeah, he should actually be able to clean up that pylon quite well. So very good. Getting any pylon kills this early in the game is a very smart maneuver. He's going to try and get some probe kills there. Does turn around and decide to sacrifice the rest of his roaches here, as the stalker might get the second stalker kill. It's going to be very, very close here. He is going to try his darndest. Don't think it's going to happen now with the mothership supporting there, but did delay a lot of mining time, as Firewalker did sit off the line for a little while there. Over here, he does finally have his hatchery out here, so has a lot to go with the hatchery. He is not going to win with that quick attack there. Now we do have the 3 cannons at the base here. Is going to get out a couple more stalkers here. Almost done with his warp gate technology here. Really needs to be chrono boosting here. Does have a lot of chrono boost on each of his bases here, so could really be chrono boosting the rest of the warp gate out to get it a little bit quicker, if you know what I mean. All right, now if we look at the other end here, we are going to see ourselves hopefully something out of Roach, maybe to a Roach Hydra, or maybe it's just going to macro. Looks like he's going to be macro heavy for a little bit here, so he does not have any more units building here. We will speed this up for you, as it does look like we are going to go into a bit of a mining game to build up some minerals and gas. Here we go. Warp gate technology has finishes. The 3 gates are warping out there. We do have Stargate coming, so Firewalker is electing to go with Stargate technology here. Down the other end, he does have all of his gases mining with 3 on each of them here, so might be going to somewhat of a gas-heavy build. Let's take a look here. What do you think? Spire? And Spire, we're going double Spire, so he's going to go heavily into mutas with the upgrades. Here is the only reason you're ever going to build 2 Spires, so imagine upgrades are going to come left, right, and center for him here, and he's going to power up those mutas as much as he can here. I guess we can speed her up again here. It does look like he's going with a 3rd here. Did carry 2 more over to get the extractors out, as he will want to get that gas ASAP, ASAP, baby. All right, we do have some more stalkers over here. 8 stalkers. Do have the 1 Phoenix out there. I would imagine that Phoenix is just going to scout around the map, and yes, that's exactly what he's going to be used for. I would be curious if he gets 2 or 3 maybe to go and start scouting out the overlords there just to get him some overlord kills. There we go. We do have both Spires on the field here. I'd have to imagine they're going to start the upgrades fairly quick here. Do have a Void Ray on the field as well for Firewalker. There are no offensive units other than the Queens for Electroshokr, but he is finishing up with 10 mutas, so did drop all of his money and gas into mutas the second those Spires came up here. Still not running the upgrades on him here. I would have to imagine those will come pretty quick here. Firewalker does now know what's coming his way. This could be big trouble here. Electroshokr is going to work his way out of the base here. Is going to mosey on over there across the back of the map here. Of course, Firewalker does know what's coming. There's the cannons, of course. Very well done. Don't know if they're going to be up in time. Is bringing the stalkers over. We'll soon find out. He is going to try and get in there. Does warp in a couple more stalkers. We'll choose what Electroshokr is going to do here. Does have 4 stalkers up here. Bunch of cannons about to finish. Will these stalkers be able to delay him long enough? Does not look like it here. This is big trouble here. Doesn't have any upgrades yet. There we go. There's enough stalkers. Should be able to chase him up there, which will give time for the cannons to finish up here. So very good defend by Firewalker. These guys are going to go around here. The mutas are going to go around, basically look if there's anything else they can take out here, or just make their way back to the base there. I would like to see him maybe go up here just to make sure that the 3rd wasn't quite there yet, but fair enough, is going to make his way all the way back into the main base here. Does have nothing else, I do not believe. We do have a fleet beacon coming up for Firewalker with a 2nd Stargate, so very interesting here. He is going with the 2 Stargate into a fleet beacon. I'm not too sure if he's going to go into a Templar build, maybe doing it just for upgrades. We will soon find out here. If we take a look up here, this 3rd is going away here. I would imagine he's got to get these guys on gas because he really does need to amass that gas count. Realize minerals are behind, but gas is what you're going to be behind in on the end when you are going to a mass muta build. And I don't think he's going to tech out of this. If we take a look at his unit tab here, he has amassed up to 18 mutas now. So yes, he is probably going to stick with the mass muta. There we go with the graviton to speed up the phoenixes here. So that should be a very good upgrade here. And the range, sorry, I would imagine that there is no speed upgrade, and I'm making that up. Fair enough. All right, if we take a look down here, finally upgrades are starting out of the Spire there. Wouldn't mind if that started a little bit earlier there, as he did have the 2 Spires down there quite a while ago there. Really could have had the upgrades going fairly early. 3rd is going to go down here. Does choose to take this 3rd. I elect to take this 3rd when I play this map. But like I say, I play in bronze, so what in the heck do I know? I just like to have my 3rd further away from the opponent, I guess. Here we go. Up here we are getting that now with the 1 and 3. I would have to imagine he's going to put 2 more on there pretty darn quick here. Let's see if he has elected to go with anything else. No, just upgrades for the mutas. So nothing else special going to happen. We are getting ground armor out of Firewalker here, so maybe not going into a straight Sky Toss army. He is going into a mass Phoenix, though. Phoenix is the counter. If you can mass them up good enough and micro them good enough, they will counter mutas very well, as we have seen before out of Firewalker. He really likes to do the Phoenix against the muta build there. 20 mutas are now on the field here. Wowzer, he is really amassing a good amount of mutas on the field here. Do currently keep him fairly even with the count here as far as food goes. If we pull up our income tab, they are also fairly close, other than a little bit heavier for Electroshokr. Other than that, those guys are very close in everything right now, so it's anybody's game at this point in time. We will soon find out who's going to pull out ahead here. There comes a probe here. He's going to drop down the pylon. Kind of you're better off just dropping pylons all around the map, which is what I imagine he's going to do. There's another pylon, Equal vision everywhere all over the map here, and we'll even try to put one over here. Of course, that's where he will be stopped, as you cannot build on creep, but if you could, that would be darn good. I always thought that they should actually, in team games, if your opponent is a Zerg player, they should allot your allies to build on your creep, because sometimes there's some maps that, even 2v2 maps, that are so small building area that if you have a Zerg on your team, you can't build dick all. That's just my opinion anyways. I think it would be pretty cool if Blizzard put that in there. I can't see a downfall to having that, allowing your allies to build onto your own creep, but I'm sure there's some reasons that you could argue that with. We are getting a macro hatch out here as well here, so we will get that on the field. 33 mutas, wowzers. So he is very heavy on the muta count here. He is 1-1 in his upgrades. Let's see if he is getting any more upgrades. Yes, he is. He is going into the 2-2 for his upgrades here. We'll need to get into hive technology if he does want to get the 3-3 on there. Over at the other end here, we do have 10 Phoenixes on the field here with the 16 Stalkers. So he is really just basically countering exactly what the opponent's build. So both these guys are going to have fairly even clash. It's going to come down to the micro more than likely here. But we will soon find out who's got the better of that. And we do have air weapons coming up here, which is very smart. Out of Firewalker here, does need that. Is basically getting the Twilight Council out here. Not too sure if he's going to go into the Darkies to start doing drops at the same time while he tries to attack or defend, whoever attacks first here. We will soon find that out. Did get a bunch more mutas out here. Wowzer, 41. Holy, this is a massive amount of mutas. You might allow him to 200 up in mutas, and that could be very deadly, especially if he gets the 2-2 on the field here. We don't have any upgrades other than that one weapon that's coming out for air. And here we do have ourselves the Twilight Council with the other Stargates. We are going into the 3 Stargates here. Is building some more pylons here. So now he does have 200 worth of food here. Up here we do have the Overlords all sitting up here. Those are the Bronze League Overlords I like, that just sit there huddled up in the corner because they're more of a nuisance. Of course, I didn't mention both these guys are silver. Wouldn't mind seeing possibly the Overlords to fly out into the middle of the map here, just so they do have a little bit of vision there, just so they know exactly what is going on this map here. We will soon find out whether or not one of these guys is going to engage each other. We will soon find out. Let's speed this up a little bit here, as nobody seems to be moving here. We'll speed it up even to 4 times here. We do have a little bit of creep spread coming out of Electroshokr here, as he does halfway across the map. Doesn't really need creep spread, as he is going into a muta build, so creep spread isn't really necessary. He will get his 4th hatchery up there at the very top of the screen here. All right, let's slow this down. I imagine somebody is going to move pretty darn quick here. It does have both of them up here. Firewalker, of course, does know that has happened, as he does have the pylon sitting there. Does have a massive amount of cannons up here. So we currently, if we take a look here, 55 mutas, one of the highest muta counts I have ever seen. Only seen in lower level leagues, as you will see them all mass up their armies, as nobody really likes to attack. It is turtle up in 200 armies clash in the middle, more than likely. 55 mutas will be meeting 16 Phoenixes, 2 Void Rays, and 21 Stalkers. And you could count the 2 High Templars, as they will counter that as well. Really does have the Overseer out there, 1 Overseer just in case he does get Darkies. Does build 8 random dogs. Not entirely sure what the dogs are on the field for, but he does have 8 dogs on the field as well. There's the dogs. They're running up there to attack that pylon. That's what they're for. There you go. As he did not want to fly the mutas up. There's the Darky drop. He did go into Dark Templars, as I did expect there. So he will use these to do some harassment to try and basically catch the attention of Electroshokr to try and get him off moving his units all over the field wherever they need be to defend. There we go here. Somebody's got to move out at some point in time. I would have to imagine Darkies are going to choose to do so first. Does have 5 Darkies moving across the field here. These Darkies are going to go right up here into the 3rd, it does look like here. And there's nothing there to stop them. They're going to get right into that mineral line. Should be able to mop up pretty much all of these drones here. There they are. Now he realizes the Darkies are there. He is going to massacre every one of those drones, as he does not pull one of them off the line. That is the low-level league play I like to see. Very well done here. Darky's going to massacre the rest of these dogs here. He is probably going to start working on that hatchery as well. Not entirely sure why these mutas haven't moved yet. 63 mutas. Maybe he's trying to see if he can lose all the drones and get as many mutas to set the world record. Very well. All right, so he's going to sit there, allow both these bases to go down here. These 2 Darkies will finish up on that one here. Is moving across with the Phoenixes here, basically waiting for those mutas to make their way up there. Will expose his Phoenixes here, so I don't know if that's the best of moves to fly him right over top the base here, as now Electroshokr knows exactly where those Phoenixes are, because that's what he needs to know for when he does move out with these mutas. 63 mutas is still in the field here. If we take a look here, he does have the 2-2, and let's take a look. Did he get? Yes, he did get hive technology, and 3-3 is on its way. If we take a look over here at the Phoenix count, we have the 1 and 1. Sorry, that was air armor he was getting, not ground armor earlier. That was my mistake. All right, the mutas are going to move in here. If this does turn into a base race, I really give you my best of luck, Firewalker, because base racing with all your Phoenixes isn't going to work here. Really does need to bring them over. He is doing some lifts with them. Does realize that all the MUTAs are into his base here. They will massacre through everything quite easily here. Just too many of them here. They should be able to massacre through all these cannons here. We'll take out all the little stalkers there. Are taking out the pylons as well. Should be able to clean this up pretty good. Now we're going to see who's got the better micro. The Phoenixes are slowly going to make their way in there, and we will get the engagement we have been waiting for. Who's got the better micro here? We are soon going to find out. Here they are here. They're going to try and fly around. Really needs to keep them out of range as they do have better range. And now we are going to find the annoyance. Electroshokr might start to get really annoyed here as those Phoenixes, if they can stay out of range, will massacre through these MUTAs, and it's almost unfair sometimes. No! Is losing a lot of them MUTAs. MUTA count is down to 46, so did lose 27 of them almost there. Sorry, 17. That's piss poor math on my attempt there. It is sending in there, trying to take out all the main buildings if he can, just to put Firewalker in a hole here, which is very, very smart, as they can pretty much one-shot every single building here, but is down to 36, 34 of them now, so is really depleting them very quickly. Does take out the Overseer as well here, so is almost getting them down on food there, is down to 188 for the food. 89, of course, is only on the field as an army count and drone count. So we are now back up to 109. So can't max out until he gets a couple more overlords out here. Is chasing the rest of that army down with the Phoenixes here. Darkies are still on the map here, and that's been the big issue. He does not have anything to detect him anymore, as the Overseer did go down. Is getting an Overseer now, but it might be too little too late, as these Darkies are going to clean basically everything up. The whole time he was attacking, the Darkies do appear like they cleaned up really good, really cleaned up everything except for his naturals. Wouldn't mind him seeing going in, go right for the main buildings to prevent any more of an army build. 35 units on the field here. There's not much they can do when those Phoenixes just keep flying around and shooting you out of your range, so this isn't good at all. Do have a lot of stalkers moving in, could be moving in for the kill here. Darkies are up there as well. This could be the end of it here. It does not look good. Phoenix is going to try and get in and clean up. Down to 29 units here. Once his stalker count gets over here, that's pretty much going to be the end of it, I think, here, as he is backed off right into his base here. 23 are left there. This should pretty much be GG, I would have to imagine. He does see the stalkers moving up the ramp here. None of you drones are going to get too far here. MUTAs do end up coming back here, but don't think there's anything they're going to end up doing here. They will end up massacring the rest of these MUTAs here, I'd have to imagine here. Down to 12, down to 11 here. Really, the mineral count is just done. Just doesn't have the gas. Minerals are there for Electroshokr, so could realistically build up an army still, but when you don't have some gas, you're not going to build much. And down to the 5 now. That should pretty much wrap it up here. Very well done by Firewalker. I do give it to you, though, Electroshokr. That was a massive amount of MUTAs you did have on the field. I think I counted you at 63 at one point in time. You're very polite with the GG. Very good game, guys. Congratulations to Firewalker. My condolences to Electroshokr. I leave you with this. When you wash your car and the neighbor's watching, don't let me see you. Go back inside. Thank you so much for watching. Send your emails, send your replays to tractorchute@gmail.com. Appreciate it as always. Be good. Don't hurt nobody. Peace.